It should be noted that the masterminds outside the country are all located in Côte d'Ivoire, including the aforementioned Bahare Abdrahman. The intelligence services followed the maneuver, which, according to the plan of the terrorist conspirators, was to culminate on Wednesday, April 16, 2025, in an assault on the presidency of Faso by a group of soldiers recruited by the enemies of the nation. The plot is actively continuing from their operations center in Abidjan with the objective of sowing chaos in Burkina Faso before the month of June. According to this shocking press release from Burkina Faso's minister in charge of security, the following revelations from Burkina Faso's intelligence services have just exposed a chilling betrayal, a coordinated plot involving military deserters, foreign actors, and terrorist leaders, all aimed at collapsing the country from within and placing it back under the grip of foreign control. This wasn't just an attempted coup. It was a full-blown scheme to dismantle a rising sovereign nation. And yet, it failed. Pay attention and listen all through for more details. You will be shocked.
Welcome back again to African Streamline. I am Atamba Hete in this devotion time. A problem has arrived and we need to deal with the problem, because if we don't deal with this problem, we are going to be at a very bad place. We've been talking about this time and again. We are at a place where we need to begin trusting our own people, because Africa is not at a good place, and everybody knows that Africa is not at a good place. Okay, so the fact that we're not at a good place, it means we need to be finding solutions and try to do everything to make sure we are actually extracting ourselves from the problem we are in. Because if we cannot do it ourselves, nobody's going to come and do it for us. But if we will get to a point when we are having people who are rising to try and help us solve the problem we're having in Africa, people like Ibrahim Traore, people like Abdurrahman Tiani, people like Goita, people like Dr. Rekana, and many other revolutionaries who are coming up to try and solve the problems that we're having in Africa. If we shall be having people like those arising, and we're having brothers or the fellow black people who are being paid so they can be able to maybe neutralize them, silence them, or rather even eliminate them, it's a very big problem. We have talked many times about a brother killing a brother or a brother destroying a brother, okay? Because this has always been the way that the white people, the white man supremacy has been using to make sure Africa does not go anywhere. Because they know black people or other Africans, we look like people who are beggars. And when they give us something, we tend to sing or to dance to their tune. So they know we are people who need money. So when they give us a little thing, a little pocket money here and there, we begin to even betraying our brothers and our sisters, betraying our good leaders. Now, as you're talking right now, we have men in uniform who are traitors, and they've been found in Burkina Faso. These are men in uniform, but these are people who are like traitors in uniform. That's a very big problem. It's not actually, like, it's not good. It's not. It is something that we really need to talk about it. Because for how long are we going to actually being afraid of the people that we are supposed to be trusting? How will I know? I'm not God. I'm not an angel to understand this person I'm standing next to is not a good person. Okay? So we need to start to stop like betraying our own brothers. A black brother killing a black brother. Thomas Sankara died because someone who was very close to him actually made him die. That was a very big betrayal. Now we are having men in uniform who are also traitors. Okay? They're trying to eliminate Ibrahim Traore. Something that is very, very, very bad. This is a guy, a man, a president, a leader who is trying to save Africa from the problem we are in. It is someone we are supposed to be protecting by all means, not someone we're supposed to allow anything bad or harm come to him. So I'm very disappointed when I begin to listen to things like this, or I begin to hear things like this. I want you to sit down and actually tell me, what do you think about this issue? What do you think about it? Because it's bad. According to me, I really feel it's very bad. According to me, I feel it is something we are not supposed to be doing. We are not supposed to be doing at all. It is something we are not supposed to be doing as people, as Africans. We are supposed to be protecting these people by all means. Tell me what you think in the comment section about this issue, because personally, I'm very disappointed. Personally, I'm not happy because I don't think we should be talking about this. We should be proud of our brothers because they are protecting us, not be afraid of our brothers because they are eliminating us or because they are being used to destroy us. It is something that is very bad. I want you to watch this video and tell me what you think in the comment section about this issue.
Press release. Several weeks ago, intelligence services intercepted multiple communications between an individual and terrorist leaders concerning details of the positions of the defense and internal security forces, the volunteers for the defense of the homeland, as well as military operations. After in-depth technical analysis, the individual was identified as Bahare Abdraman, a known officer in the Burkinabe Armed Forces. He was identified as belonging to the Military Justice Battalion. Information gathering within his unit of assignment enabled intelligence agents to discover that the officer had been in a situation of unauthorized absence for several weeks and was the subject of desertion proceedings. The surveillance of the communications of the deserter Lieutenant Barry Abdra revealed additional links of interest to the intelligence services, notably with an officer of the armed forces named Compaoré Joanny, a former non-commissioned officer of the Burkinabe army named Zerbo Lauko, an officer on duty at the Integrated Operations Center of Burkina Faso, Commander Ouedraogo Frederick, an armed forces officer on training in a European country, but a long-time deserter who had joined Abidjan under the name Caboret Constantin. The meticulous work of the intelligence services uncovered a large-scale plot being prepared against our country, whose ultimate goal was to sow total chaos with a view to placing the country under the tutelage of an international organization capable of regaining control in 10 or 20 years, according to the instigators. Sensitive information was passed to terrorists with the aim of increasing attacks against the fighting forces and civilians in order to incite revolt against the authorities. Furthermore, other strategies were developed to disorient the intelligence services in order to lead them to carry out mass arrests within the defense and internal security forces, and thus hope to create frustrations and a sense of fear. Manipulation was also carried out through messages disseminated to unjustly target certain individuals, and other messages sent to corps commanders to frighten them by indicating that they would be arrested as being on a so-called blacklist. Religious and customary leaders were solicited to convince certain officers to engage in this deadly mission. This was unfortunately the case for Captain Ouedraogo René David, currently at large. In the same vein, VDP, Volunteers for the Defense of the Homeland, were contacted to demoralize their comrades, and money was sent to them for this vile task. All these perfidious stratagems were developed for the sole purpose of destructuring the army and sowing chaos. The intelligence services followed the maneuver, which, according to the plan of the terrorist conspirators, was to culminate on Wednesday, April 16, 2025, in an assault on the presidency of Faso by a group of soldiers recruited by the enemies of the nation. This assault was to be carried out at the same time as several large-scale terrorist attacks to occupy the airfields, failing to be able to destroy the aircraft on the ground. A few days before the implementation of this diabolical plan, VDP and patriotic soldiers presented themselves to several services, notably intelligence and the presidency of Faso, to denounce the coup being prepared. These denunciations continued until Tuesday, April 15, 2025, and led to the arrest of the masterminds of the maneuver in Ouagadougou and others fleeing towards Côte d'Ivoire. It should be noted that the masterminds outside the country are all located in Côte d'Ivoire, including the aforementioned Bahare Abdrahman. The plot is actively continuing from their operations center in Abidjan with the objective of sowing chaos in Burkina Faso before the month of June. The intelligence services are continuing their surveillance actions and will keep national opinion informed of any developments in the situation. Several other implicated individuals are being monitored and will bear the consequences of their actions when the time comes. We invite the populations to remain calm and vigilant and to report any suspicious activity. As for the valiant fighting forces, we encourage them to continue their mission with determination while remaining vigilant. Homeland or death, we shall overcome.